Hi everyone, we have a special guest today on my channel. Her name is Maria.
Hello.
And Maria is the girl that I mentioned in one of my videos about a dream that I had, and she had the same dream basically the next day. I'll put the link below and so you can know more about this dream. But I have her here today as my guest, and we gonna share two stories about how God has worked in our lives and how God is moved basically in different ways. And even though we didn't expect it or did expect it, God did it in his own way. So I think Maria wanted to share a little experience she had.
Yeah, my experience is about something that I've been praying for a lot this past year, especially these past few months. And it basically just shows how God answers prayers and how sometimes it's not in the way we expect him to. What I have been praying these past few months a lot is that I felt like God has done a lot for me and I wanted to give back to him. So I'd been praying a lot that he would use me, or that he would send me to help people and to help bring people to him as well. And I prayed a lot over this, and as I prayed, I kind of had this idea in my mind of what this prayer answered would look like. Rather than just leaving it up to God, I had the image in my head. I thought bringing people to God or helping people meant preaching or having to go overseas on a mission trip. And these things are amazing and they've worked for a lot of people, but they aren't the only ways. And I don't think I realized that.
I think we all think that.
Yeah.
There's many ways out there.
There's many ways, yeah. So I had that in my mind and I kept praying. And I thought nothing was happening because I hadn't started preaching or I hadn't been sent anywhere. But things actually were happening. You see, around this time, I started getting a lot of people in my life coming up to me and opening up to me. People who were really hurting and were really broken in a really bad place. And before I knew it, within months, I became surrounded by this. It felt like a lot of people around me really needed help. And I even started having dreams about people in my life. For example, one of my dreams that I had, my friend was sitting in a car with her daughter in the back. And Jesus was coming soon, but they weren't ready. They weren't ready for his coming. And I just felt this really strong sadness in the dream because they weren't ready, but Jesus was on his way. And I knew in my heart that I had to do everything I could to help them be ready. And I remember thinking to myself in my dream, like, even if I look silly, it doesn't matter. They need to know because he's coming.
Amen.
And then that was one dream. In another dream I had with a different friend, me and this friend, and this dream is really metaphorical, but me and this friend, we were rock climbing, and it was indoor rock climbing, and I got to the top of the wall. And then I looked down on her and I was waiting for her to climb the wall, but she couldn't climb because no one had taught her how to climb. She didn't know. And I knew in my heart, like, I had to teach her to climb. And it's metaphorical because I had to teach her who God is, or I had to help her. And these are just a few dreams of many that I started having, and it came out of nowhere and it was so overwhelming. It almost felt like a burden. Like, I thought to myself, why is this happening? Everyone around me is falling apart or breaking, and I feel this responsibility to help them. And I didn't recognize that God had actually answered my prayer, because I remember thinking to myself, did I not pray that God would send me to help people? And he did send me, but it just wasn't in the way I expected. And like, I stopped complaining about it and said I was grateful because he answered my prayer. And it wasn't what I had in mind, but his ways are above our ways, and I'm so grateful he did that. And yeah, that's just my experience and it just goes to show how God's way of answering our prayers might not be how we expect, but they are his ways and we have to trust his ways.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Like, we always, like, as humans, we think, oh, God is going to answer my prayer this specific way. So we're waiting for that specific way, and then we realize that he's actually answered our prayer this specific way. And we always complain, and it's like, oh, you're not answering my prayers, or actually he did. He actually probably did already, but you just haven't seen it, or anything like that. With me, my story, or my testimony in a way, it's answering a letter that I got from a new friend that I have made. We sort of work next to each other. So son, Joe, if you're watching this, this is answering a question you have asked me in your letter. And you asked me why I'm so nice and why I'm so kind. What makes me so nice and kind? Well, this experience that I had actually with you guys, I can't remember with which one of yous, but this is the reason why I am the way I am with you guys, is because of this. As not many of you guys know, but I used to work at a bakery, and I had a very crazy schedule, and sometimes I would do like 10 hours straight shifts. And at the time where I was working, we only get like half an hour break regardless of how much you work. So basically that's all I had as a break. So, and as retailers know, you're in your feet all day. So I was doing a close. A close is basically you're closing the bakery by yourself, and it can get tough if you don't know what you're doing, or if there's a lot to do, like it's really dirty or anything like that. So I wasn't a fan of a close, because I'm not the quickest worker. So that meant I always had to stay behind longer and not get paid for it, basically. So I already was doing a 10-hour shift, and I was tired and I was hungry, and I was thinking in my head, or I was thinking in my mind, what am I gonna make for dinner for me and my husband? I was just recently married, like at the time when this situation happened. So I was just thinking, what are we gonna make for dinner? And you see, at the time things were a little tough financially, and our living situation was a bit difficult, and we didn't actually have a proper kitchen. So we didn't have the luxury to just, cook something on the stove. We always had to be creative and think outside the box. And so when I was thinking to myself, I was thinking, what am I gonna cook? And all I can think of was like, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm tired, I'm hungry. And I was trying to clean quickly and trying to make sure that everything's clean, and because if you don't clean properly, then it'll bring cockroaches and other stuff, so we don't want that. And so I was in that moment when I was thinking that thing, the girls next door, which is Son and Joe, they gave me a whole bag of food, sushi basically. They gave me a whole bag of sushi, like leftover from the day. They were closing, and whatever doesn't sell gets thrown out, but they made me a bag, and it was a big bag of sushi. And like, it wasn't one or two, it was a big bag of sushi and other goodies in there. And she go, here, there you go, and she put this on the counter, and I kind of got teary, because that answered my question in a way that I was sort of asking myself in a way, or asking God, I don't remember exactly. But what I do know is that God provided for me in a time that I needed food, provided dinner when I was really tired, and used one of the sushi girls. And I don't think they realized what, I don't think they realized that God used them in that time. to help someone in need. But I knew behind the story. And I got teary, and oh my God, you really take care of your children. And I got teary, and I told my husband about it. And now I'm telling you girls, now you know why I'm so nice to you. No, I'm not nice because I want food. No, I'm nice because it's a reminder of what was done for me when I needed food in a way. And how God used you, and God can use anyone to do something so simple, to give like a bag of food, and you know, you think that it's nothing, but it's a big deal to that person, especially if they need it.
And even if like they don't realize they're being used, God still uses those people.
For sure. So I'd taken up now after that, it changed me as a person, and I decided to make those particular two girls, Sun and Joe, feel different and feel special. And you know, that's the reason why I bought, you know, roses for you girls on Valentine's Day as a friendship in a way. I wanted to do it out of the, I don't know, just wanted to do it. It's because I was very grateful, and I am still grateful for that one time that you did that for me. Things now they're different. I do have a place to cook now, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, just God does take care of his children, and sometimes, like in my case, I don't remember asking God to feed me or anything, but he provided. In your case, you did ask a specific way, but he answered in a different way.
It wasn't how I thought, but it was still his way.
Yeah, and he still answered. And God is always there, either we see it or we don't. God is always there, and he will take care of you in time of need. Well, I hope I hope our stories were able to inspire you or help you in your walk with God. And I don't know if you want to say anything.
And yeah, I hope that they can be a reminder that God is there, and he is with you, and he is helping you. And sometimes you may not realize it, and sometimes you aren't even consciously praying, but he's still there and he still answers.
He's listening. Alright guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.